Alright, I just found out that if it hits 9 minutes, then it restarts, so we're going to have to cut this down into probably 3 videos instead of just 2. Video 2, classroom management. First thing, Chromebooks, expected. If you don't bring your charger to class, or you don't sit by a plug-in, or if you don't charge up all the charge stuff that comes into Chromebooks, your responsibility. Understanding how to get onto your Chromebook and understanding to log on, your responsibility. I can direct you to people that can help. I am not the best help, but I can find people that can help you. Passes, number 2. With the passes, if you don't have a passbook, you need to find something that is equivalent to a passbook, meaning a piece of paper, because you have to write your name, date, time, location, where you want to go. If this is for 9th period and your teacher requires a green pass, I will find a green pass or an equivalent to a green pass so that you can fill it out. But I expect you to do the filling out. I will do the signing. That's a hard thing for students to understand. So I'm letting you ruminate on that for a second before we move into number 3. I guess you could just pause the video, and that would be a rumination. But I don't trust that you would pause it. So passes filled out by you is what you're thinking about right now. Okay, number 3, absence. If you are absent from class, what I find out a lot is students come in during passing and ask, "What did we do yesterday?" And they don't always say it just like that. Sometimes it's, "What did we do yesterday, Mr. Anderson?" And I usually say, "We dominated." And they look at me with this flabbergasted look of, "Okay." And then they go back to their seat and they ask their classmate, "So what did we do yesterday?" And then, of course, that student says, "Nothing." And then they're like, "Okay." And then they just missed it. During that 4 minutes of passing periods, I'm supposed to be out in the hallways. I'm usually in the classroom trying to get ready for my next class, and I'm busy. I'm not too busy for you. 9th period. That time, 9th period and after school, I will focus on you. But during that 4 minutes, I have a lot of other distractions. Butterflies are flying all over the place that I am distracted by, and I can't focus my attention on you. So please, if you are absent, I expect you to come in 9th period and ask for help. If you ask your friends, you are relying on them. You're not relying on the teacher. So let's see if we can't come in 9th period and ask for if you missed something. Number 4, students are not permitted food or drink. This is a different thing than what I did last semester, and so new people, it doesn't matter to you, but old people, what I found out is there are some great students at Norfolk, but they cannot pick up for everybody, nor can they stop the distractions of the person that brings a flavor of coffee that everyone wants to know, which then distracts everyone from something. Plus, they cannot keep the person that is drinking a water bottle from spilling it on my floor, the person that is bringing in Tootsie Pops and rolling up the wrappers and throwing them on my floor. I do not want food or drink into the classroom. I will ask you to put it into your bag. And this comes into kind of a side thing in that respect is something that I expect. And if I don't get that respect, or you don't give it to your classmates, then I just remove you from class. And then you follow through all of that handbook ideas of what the administrators do to you. I don't know how much more to explain to this and that. I have a high level of, I do expect students to do many nice things for their classmates and also for me, and if you don't, then that's the trouble. Okay, so the next one would be late work. With our late work, we're going to stop after this one and then move into number 6, 7, and 8 on the next video, which would be video 3. Video 2, late work. I made this new little thing called late work recovery process. With our late work recovery process, there it is. I need you to open this guy up, and this really is applicable only to the students that have late work. Students that don't have late work, but I need all students to go to it just so you can see what it is. First thing, properly made out of Pasticum in ninth period. Yeah, that's number 2, where you have to put your name and all that crappy jazzy things on. This would be when I want you to do your late work, or when I want you to come in and get help for your late work. I also need you to make sure that I have a documentation, either from a phone call, an email, or your parents came in and met, or somehow wrote down or got to the understanding that your parents know you, or your guardian knows that you have late work and you want to get credit for it. So high five to you for wanting to get credit for it. I then need you to find why I care about you going through the painful steps of getting late work. You can look on a cell phone bill to see that you get billed extra. You can look on a credit card website. You can look at car insurance policies, law enforcement, job-specific something, tax document. You can find something that says if you have late, then you have penalty. That penalty for the late work is you lose 5 points. I do reserve the right to say this thing is way too old. I'm not going to get to grading it. Also with grading it, I want you to have the understanding that I might not get to it until I get to it. It's late. If you wanted it graded with all the other students, you should have turned it in on time. You chose not to. You have the consequences of me not getting it graded. This could mean specifically at the end of the semester when Bobby Joe and Sammy Joe come in and turn in stuff that was from the beginning of the semester at the last week, I will not get to it. And therefore you will not get a grade of it. Alright, so that's late work recovery. As you fill out that whole Google form dealing with the course requirements, we are going to finish up with the last video after this one.